The closing stretch of the SEC baseball season brings us to sunny Knoxville, Tennessee, a series between Tennessee and number 4 Texas. And a big weekend as well, as Texas still in pursuit of the number 1 spot in the SEC standings. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, just trying to claw their way into the tournament. Good evening and welcome into tonight's broadcast. Pleased to have you with us alongside former Tennessee star Cody Hahn. I'm Charlie Collier, and Cody, as we get closer to the postseason, Tennessee trying to claw their way into the tournament, Texas just trying to keep it rolling.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there, Charlie. You see Texas trying to run down Georgia for that SEC championship. Tennessee doing everything they can to make the postseason.
And you get a look at this Tennessee postseason resume, and well, right now on the right side looking in, projected a 3 seed, but still some work to do. And tonight, series starts, Cody, with quite the pitching matchup. Man, that needs no introduction.
Yeah, Dylan Valantis has been arguably the best pitcher in the SEC since he stepped on campus a year ago. You're going to see some incredible stuff from him. Tennessee's going to pair him up against Tegan Coons, who's had a career year in multiple categories, and he is going to try to set this team, or set Tennessee up for a big win here in Knoxville.
Tegan Coons, the sophomore from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a guy that didn't have his best outing last weekend against Kentucky, but since the month of April, he's really turned it on, Cody.
Yeah, you're going to see a fastball that plays between 93 95, slider 83 to 85, curveball 76 to 78, changeup 82 to 84. He won multiple awards, including SEC Pitcher of the Week with his performance against Alabama earlier in the year. Lefties hit 201, righties hit 280 against Tegan Coons.
Talented Texas lineup opposite of Coons tonight. It's Aiden Robbins set to lead things off, the Seton Hall transfer from Yardley, Pennsylvania, as the first pitch backs him off the plate, ball 1.
Yeah, this top part of this Texas Longhorn lineup is deadly. Robbins, Tenney, Pack is going to set the tone for this team. Coons is going to have to work really hard to keep those 3 contained.
1-0 just off the plate to Robbins, and Carson Tenney coming up after Robbins. Some really good hitters in the top of this Texas order. I mean, really, their problems that if they've had any this year have been once they get to that, 6 through 9, 5 through 9, but some really good hitters at the top of this order. Now the count goes 3-0 to Aiden Robbins.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a lot tonight from Texas. They're currently 2nd in the nation in pitches per plate appearance. Each guy in the lineup sees roughly over 4.11 pitches per at bat. Like I said, only trailing Oklahoma State in Division I baseball.
Robbins taking all the way on the 3-0. Guy that leads the team in home runs, RBIs, and total bases. Coons able to get the fastball by him. Counts back full, 3-2. It's already a lengthy at-bat to begin the night. Coons the delivery. In on the hands, drops foul.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a lot from Coons today. That is the weapon. It's that power fastball. It's got a lot of four-seam carry. That ball's moving up. When it gets above your belt line, it feels like it's still climbing. It's really, really tough for hitters to get on top of or get through.
Another payoff pitch inside, ball 4, and Aiden Robbins works the leadoff walk. Coons almost able to battle back.
Now batting the catcher.
For the Longhorns, a runner on to start. So that'll bring Carson Tenney to the dish for this Texas team. Notre Dame transfer has been excellent for the Longhorns this season. .317 average, 17 homers. Was 0 for 11 last weekend against Mississippi State, though. Bounce back with the go-ahead grand slam this week in the midweek against UTSA.
Yeah, it's a decent bounce back in a pretty big spot. You guys saw that one on highlight, which we may get to you a little bit later. Grand slam, extra innings, 487 feet. This guy's got a little bit of juice.
He's a guy they say has true 70 grade power. Plenty of pop from the right side. The breaking ball misses 1-0. Now 2-0 from Tegan Kuhns. So what's the mindset here if you're Kuhns? You know, trying to bounce back from a shaky start last weekend against Kentucky. Walked the leadoff batter, now falling behind 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough ask. This is a very patient lineup. They're going to force you to throw strikes. And if you're Kuhns, you got to take advantage of that. You got the shadow here early on. You got to start getting ahead. You start getting behind in some of these big power bats, and they're going to make you pay. Be aggressive. You got to start getting ahead, throwing strikes here early.
Back over the plate as the 2-0's fouled off. Tinney's a guy that entered SEC play in a little bit of a slump. He was hitting just .289, did not have a weekend home run before he got to conference play, and well, he's torn it up ever since. He's been one of their best hitters in the SEC. And the average on the season all the way up to .317. Usually you see that average go down once you get to conference play. Two-1. Hit out to left, but playable for Blaine Brown. To the warning track, carried a little bit, but there to make the grab for out number 1.
Yeah, and get ready for a lot of plays on swings like this weekend. Tinney missed that ball a little bit. This place is playing hot. It is going to feel like a launching pad. Was merely a step or two away from leaving the yard.
1 on, 1 out for Texas. Back in the order tonight, was not in the starting lineup Tuesday against UTSA. Anthony Pack Jr. talking one of the best freshmen in all of college baseball. Looks at a first pitch strike from Kuhns. Started him with the off speed.
Yeah, and you look at Kuhns' stats or the splits, very good against lefties, 201 average. Reason being, first pitch right there, 83-mile-an-hour changeup. It is Kuhns' best weapon.
Throw over to first. Robbins back in plenty of time.
Yeah, it's a little split action there, Charlie, and what he does, that takes some spin off of it, which drops that velo. That pairs really well with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, gets that changeup down all the way to 82 miles an hour.
Another strike there, gets the swing and a miss. Went to it again, 82 from Kuhns. Anthony Pack Jr. is falling behind here. Kuhns looking for a big second out. And another throw over. Again for Pack Jr. He missed UTSA's start. He did enter defensively in the 7th. Coach Jim Schlossnagel, he said he was trying to avoid him swinging, just, you know, tweaked a little weird thing is what he called it in the weight room earlier this week. So didn't swing in practice, but good to go tonight. The 0-2 just got a piece of it.
And you've seen Tennessee, they've been very aware of Robbins over on first base. 11 stolen bases to just 1 caught stealing. That is a stolen base percentage at 92% on the season.
Well, it's a Texas team. They've prioritized speed when they've built this roster. And you know, they want to be aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah, this is a very athletic lineup all the way through. Great pitching, as you're going to see. They don't strike out a lot. They really force long counts, and they play really good defense behind everybody.
Another 0-2. Just missed off the plate. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and Kuhns goes back to the changeup. This was talking about this little split change, 82 miles an hour, just barely off the outside part of the plate.
Another throw over, caught Robbins glancing down at his feet for a second. Long look, now the 1-2, and that's down and in, counts even.
And you see Robbins over there at first base right now. He's trying to time it up. With Kuhns makes his move to the plate, he's trying to get one of those little jump steals in, things that's been starting to happen in baseball recently.
And another throw over. Tegan Kuhns, he's thrown 16 pitches tonight, and he's thrown it over to first about 8 times.
This is what it feels like when you play the Texas Longhorns. It is going to be a grinded out type of game against their offense.
2-2. Flare shot over towards short, running grab Manny Marin. Hung up just long enough.
Yeah, the changeup fooled Pack right here. You see the excuse me almost single. Marin runs it down. Charlie, he has been extremely good at shortstop and up the middle for this Tennessee team. Has a lot of range, very aware.
So Tegan Kuhn's trying to work around the leadoff walk. He's gotten back-to-back outs. The fly out to deep left center field, then that flare out. Have to get through Ethan Mendoza, junior from Bedford, Texas, standing in from the right side. He's first pitch swinging on the foul ball. Mendoza, a guy that, again, grew up in Texas, and you want to talk about, I mean, really just loving the Longhorns. Grew up dreaming of playing for Texas. Didn't come without some challenges. He was offered by Texas A&M when Schloss Nagel and his staff was still at A&M, but he said, no, I'm a Longhorn. I'm not going to Texas A&M. So he goes to Arizona State instead, trying to earn his way to Texas. When he finally got to take the field as a Longhorn after tearing it up with the Sun Devils, they said family had tears in the stands. I mean, just dreamt of it his whole life.
Yeah, and you're going to hear that story a lot throughout this the Texas staff. These guys want to play here, be here for Schloss Nagel. It just means more.
Kuhn's trying to get out of the inning. 0-2 breaking ball. Doesn't get the chase. Close miss.
Yeah, that was a bad joke, I know. It just means more. We've heard that around here some.
Texas has certainly heard that a lot more the last couple of years. Second year in the Southeastern Conference. Another one, too. Way out in front, this skied well foul. This Texas team, I'm sure, excited to be in Lindsey Nelson for the first time, a hitter's ballpark after they play in such a really a pitcher-friendly diamond. And again, a throw over. Texas, though, still 5th in the SEC in batting average, 4th in runs per game. Kuhn's come set. 1-2, check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says first base umpire Brian DeBrouwer. So Tegan Kuhn's able to work around the leadoff walk. We're scoreless, head to the bottom of the first. Well, one of the best arms in the SEC, in the country, on the mound tonight for the Texas Longhorns, sophomore from Thousand Oaks, California, Dylan Volantis. And Cody, I don't know about you, I woke up this morning a little extra pep in my step knowing we were going to get to watch him operate in person tonight. He's been nasty.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff's incredible. Fastball's 91 to 94, curveball 80 to 82, cutter 85 to 88, changeup 82 to 85. It's a very high release point. He lets go of the ball around a 6'8" height, which leads to a lot of ground balls. He gets them on 62% of baseballs that are put into play. The curveball's a big bender at a 12-6 action. He is the co-SEC pitcher of the week. Lefties hit 170, righties hit 195 against Dylan Volantis.
Yeah, that Tennessee lineup probably not as excited as I was this morning to wake up and face Volantis. You know, you look at this Tennessee order and it's been an up and down year for the Tennessee offense. Levi Clark, though, coming off a big series.
Yeah, Clark's been on a tear, man. Last 10 games, 6 home runs, OPS over 1,500. Interesting matchup. Obviously, Volantis is really good. Tennessee hits lefties better than they do righties on the season, so that is going to be a really fun matchup to look at. Tennessee hits 298 against lefties, and they only hit 265 against righties. So fun matchup on the day.
Well, a fun matchup indeed, and a little personal as well. You got to look at Josh Elander. Spent 8 years on the Tennessee Taft, but he knows Texas coach Jim Schlossnagle pretty well as well. He was his college coach. And now, well, two get to square off against each other for the first time, with both of them being head coaches. Had a nice chat before the game. Garrett Wright, first pitch swinging to lead things off. Gives this one a nice ride into center field, but it's Maddox Mansour there waiting for it. So one pitch, one out in the bottom of the first. That was quick for Dylan Volantis. And he is coming off quite the weekend. Last Friday against Mississippi State, tied his career high with 12 strikeouts, 107 pitches. Actually helped Texas tie his school record for strikeouts in a game as a staff with 19.
Yeah, and that's the second time that they've reached 19 strikeouts in the last 3 weeks. So 19 Ks in a game, that's incredible. You have to go all the way back into March of 1988, the last time that Texas did that.
For Volantis, he's a guy that closer last year as a freshman, then was the Sunday starter at the beginning of the year. They've put him on Fridays, and he's really taken it up another notch.
Yeah, the key to Tennessee offense right here, you have to see the ball up. Everything is very downhill. Curveball's a big 12-6 bend. You have to see it pop. Move up out of the hand at the beginning before you swing. If you let him live down into the zone and you try to play that game, it is going to be a very long day for you as an offense.
Well, the 1-1 located well at the bottom of the zone there. Volantis, a guy that really just feels like he can put it wherever he wants at times. 1-2 to Blake Grimmer. Hard hit. Diving stop. Mendoza at second, and he doesn't get back up. So an infield single for Blake Grimmer, and now they're going to make sure Ethan Mendoza's okay.
Yeah, great play to get to the ball. Obviously, after seeing him there out after the dive, there's a risk of injury that his staff is going to go check out. So two of the best defensive in the conference right here. Mendoza, great play, gets to the ball, and then I don't know if he kind of rolled up on that throwing hand or throwing wrist. Not 100% sure. Hopefully we get good news here in a second. He's good to go.
Yeah, trainer out to take a look at him here. You know, both hands kind of fell over the body, but well, they're going to get him a baseball. Let him throw it a couple of times.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing about being here. I mean, it's any surface, but turf in general, right? Turf is wet, you're going to slide a mile. When it's dry, you tend to stick. If you kind of catch it, you go against the grain a little bit. And that's what it looks like right now. If I had to guess, it's a shoulder or a wrist on that throw-in arm in general, because he looks a little uncomfortable playing a little pitch and catch at the moment.
For Texas fans, I'm sure they're holding their breath. They've had to deal with some injuries this year. Lost Jonah Williams, a key outfielder, two-way player, a football star as well. They lost him for the season earlier this year. They've had guys in and out of the lineup, you know, dealing with hand injury, and you know, Anthony Pack was dealing with some soreness earlier this week. Dealt with some injuries last year as well. You know, finally starting to settle back in from a lineup perspective if you're Texas.
Yeah, you can tell he's hurt. We're going to wish the best for him, and like I said, hopefully we get good news to him. And
so Ethan Mendoza heading off the field. Hoping that, again, that's something that you can see him back in the lineup pretty quickly this weekend, but he'll be replaced by Callum Early, a Liberty transfer that is in his first season with the Longhorns. Early, a guy that 28 starts last year at Liberty. He's been one of their first infielders off the bench.
Yeah, left-handed bat, right-handed thrower, 6 foot, 190-pound sophomore, as you mentioned, transferred in from Liberty.
So 1 on, 1 out for Tennessee as they try to strike early. Henry Ford at the plate. First pitch in there at 81, looked at for strike one. Henry Ford, a guy that's been as advertised for Tennessee this year out of the transfer portal. Takes a pitch off the plate to even the count up, and You know, actually, Texas was hot on the trail as well. I mean, that was a tough portal recruitment for Tennessee to ultimately get him in Knoxville. I'm sure Schloss and company were trying to get him in Austin. Another hard-hit ground ball, diving stop at short, only plays to first, but Rodriguez in time to Borba. Impressive play to get forward.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Look at early in this game, the plays we've seen already. Volantis, that's the slider down and in. That was a really good swing by Ford. And then, I mean, that's poetry in motion right there from Rodriguez at short. To have the awareness and the feel to know the play wasn't at second to make a good throw to first base. Absolute clinic by the middle of the infield so far.
Two teams top 30 nationally in fielding percentage. They've been excellent with the gloves this year. Tennessee actually number 2 nationally, Texas 27. As Trent Grindlinger looks at a first pitch called strike, freshman DHing tonight. And Cody, he's been undeniable in terms of working his way into this lineup.
Yeah, and this is something I've mentioned in previous broadcasts as well. Him being placed into this lineup changed a lot of other bats as it went through. His approach and the way he has swung has rubbed off on a lot of people. His bat's got going, and a lot of people around him has as well.
Takes the 1-1 down and away. For Trent Grindlinger, freshman from Huntington Beach, California, he's reached base in 25 of the last 27 games. Came in as one of the top recruits in that high-ranked Tennessee recruiting class, and he delivers with a big swing here. Send to the gap in left center. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Bremer comes around to score. Grindlinger coasts into second. And Tennessee strikes first.
I mean, what else can you say? This guy is a walking barrel. 86-mile-an-hour slider out over the plate, gets extension, drives that ball in the left center gap for a double, puts Tennessee early on the board against Volantis in Knoxville.
Got past Mansour there in center too. And Maddox Mansour, another freshman, he got inserted into the lineup last weekend as the everyday center fielder, and he was put in for his defense. Rare misplay there. Tennessee trying to add on in the bottom of the first. Still a runner in scoring position for Reese Chapman. Takes strike one.
And good side for Tennessee. You get an arm like this in Volantis, you better strike early. You get these elite SEC aces, you better get to them the first couple innings, because once they settle down, it becomes very, very difficult. But very impressed. Tough shadow right now at the plate with Volantis. Tennessee's put a lot of good swings on early.
Volantis has bounced back now ahead of Reese Chapman, 0-2. Chapman lays off on the pitch low in the zone. For Dylan Volantis, he's a guy that really hasn't seen a lot of losing in his career. Texas has won all 11 of his starts this season. 1-2, misses up in the zone. And really, only one career loss came last year in the SEC tournament between these two teams.
That's right, Tennessee got him, and as you mentioned, I mean, the stats are absolutely mind-blowing. 7-0 on the year, sub-2 ERA, very impressive.
Chopper towards second, slow roller, early fresh into the game, but charges in and makes the play. Tennessee striking first in the bottom of the first. The Vols lead early. Back here in Knoxville, Tennessee and Texas, and it's the Vols striking first in the opener. Bottom of the first, a 1-0 lead for Tennessee. And, well, Cody, a couple of teams that, or at least athletic programs that have been pretty connected throughout the years, just with the whole UT and the Orange and the Power T. This is the first on-campus series. You take a look back at some of the matchups between these teams. They've met in Houston, met in the College World Series. Really fun one in 2021. But the first on-campus series, there's the SEC tournament matchup we mentioned last inning. Tennessee won 7-5 in that one. 12-inning affair. Gavin Keelan had the big hit. But I think really cool to finally see these two teams against each other on campus.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you said, this weekend series will mark the first time these two programs has faced off at each other's school's home field. All 5 prior meetings have taken place on a neutral site of some sort.
Tennessee does lead the all-time series 3-2. And They've met in Hoover, they've met in Houston, in Omaha, but now here in Knoxville. Adrian Rodriguez facing a 1-1 count. Takes it high and away from Coons. For Texas this weekend, taking this trip to Knoxville too is an opportunity to sample this Lindsey Nelson Stadium turf. As Rodriguez takes strike two. New and improved playing service coming to the dish next season for Texas. And Schlossnagle talked about how they're trying to speed up their turf. They got that big crown on the field and testing out Lindsey Nelson's turf to see how they like it this weekend. 2-2, skied into foul territory left side. And Blaine Brown will watch it sail into the crowd.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about a little early on. Like, Dish Falk is very pitcher friendly. One of the few parks in the SEC that kind of feels that way. So you could see why they'd want to move that, kind of help these hitters out a little bit. It's already big domain to roam out there into center field and so on. So trying to give these hitters another chance.
Big strikeout there from Tegan Coons. Back-to-back punch-outs going back to the first. Caught Rodriguez looking, and there's one down.
Yeah, and this goes off script with Coons a little bit right there. The changeup's the out pitch. He goes with the 12-6, 76-mile-an-hour curveball, fools him in the batter's box for another punch-out.
So Coons is settled in after the first pitch walk, retired 4 straight. Next up for Texas, it's Temo Becerra. Redshirt senior, transferred over from Stanford ahead of the season. Big cut as he waves through the first pitch fastball. Becerra, a guy that's been praised as an outstanding teammate, vocal leader for this team. He's a part of a couple of Pac-12 championships and College World Series on those Stanford teams. Sends the 0-1 foul.
Yeah, crazy stat on Temo since he's came over. Only hit 3 home runs in his first 430 at-bats of his college career at Stanford. He has hit 5 in his first 57 at-bats here at Texas.
And it's kind of been a theme with this Texas program, helping some guys unlock power that they've gotten through the transfer portal. 0-2. Coons started walking off the bump like he had it. Count now 1-2. So Becerra will see another. Here's Coons home. Slider breaks away. Count even 2-2. Shadows creeping out further towards the mound ahead of the 2-2 pitch. That one gets a groan from the crowd. 76 just misses from Tegan Coons. Counts back full. Payoff pitch. Sent out to right field. Chapman has a beat on it. Into the mitt, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, and it's been a great bounce back for Coons so far. You saw him against Robbins, struggled for the zone. Tenney, the first couple of pitches, he got that out. And now he is starting to be a little bit more downhill, aggressive, attacking this Texas lineup.
Settling into a rhythm. And, you know, Tennessee switched up the rotation a time or two this season, but Coons has been back on Friday nights. Had an incredible run of starts in the month of April. He's 2-0 with a 1.14 ERA, 27 strikeouts and just 5 walks over 4 starts. Misses with the first pitch to Ashton Larson. LSU transfer DHing tonight as he swings and misses at the 1-0. Spent 2 years at LSU where he was a national champion with the Tigers. Dealt with a quad injury that kept him out of the back half of last season. The 1-1 misses off the plate.
Yeah, Larson hitting .256 in SEC play with 1 double. What's impressive, 9 strikeouts, 16 base on balls. A guy that's very patient, works a count, knows how to draw a walk.
Can't catch up to the heater there from Coons. That's strike 2. Tegan Kuhns. He's retired 5 straight. The 2-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Backwards K on the board for Tegan Kuhns. His 3rd strikeout of the game, and a 1-2-3 top of the 2nd.
Yeah, you can feel the excitement in Knoxville with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball painted on the black.
Back here in Knoxville as we enter the bottom of the 2nd, Tennessee with the 1-0 lead. Trying to add to it, and it's Levi Clark set to lead things off. And Cody, Levi Clark been swinging a hot bat lately and was huge in Sunday's win against Kentucky for Tennessee.
Yeah, been on a tear of late, as we mentioned before, 6 home runs, over a 1,500 OPS in his last 10-game stretch. The ball is starting to leave the yard and leave it in a hurry for Levi Clark.
Yeah, led the Vols against Kentucky. You saw that 556 average, but he doubled. He had a couple of homers, drove in 5 runs. Career high 5 RBIs on Sunday. Finally starting to come into that potential for Tennessee as he's settling into a hitter's count here, 2-0. Volantis back over the plate.
Yeah, tough pitch right there, too. 86-mile-an-hour slider with the hesitation.
Backdoored him. Got the strike call, 2-2. Impressive pitch from Volantis. Clark still hasn't lifted the bat and still leaves it on the shoulder. Check swing, they did appeal. Didn't go around, it's 3-2.
Yeah, watching Volantis a little bit, I think some people in Knoxville get a little bit of a flashback. I get some reminders of some Garrett Crochet, long-limbed, got some hesitation in it, big action, hides the ball really well.
And misses with the 3-2 there. So a leadoff walk worked by Levi Clark. Don't often see Volantis letting guys go, especially early in an inning like that. It's just his 20th walk of the season. He's compared to 92 strikeouts. So Tennessee scored in the in the bottom of the 1st, a Blake Grimmer single, then a Trent Grinlinger double. Now the leadoff batter on this inning is Manny Marin, has to skip out of the way of the breaking ball. Marin tied for 2nd on the team with 10 multi-RBI games. Takes the 1-0 for strike 1. Dylan Volantis again coming off of SEC Co-Pitcher of the Week honor. Shared that honor with Zach Cohen out of LSU. 2nd time this year he's been named the SEC Pitcher of the Week. The 1-1 to Marin misses up and away.
Yeah, and that was his 4th career weekly league award. And I mean, numbers are just maddening for him. He leads all active Division I pitchers with a minimum of 75 innings pitched in career ERA. That is at a crispy 1.90 number.
Oh, my goodness. And that's in the best conference in baseball, too. Just having to work a little bit here, though. 3-1 to Manny Marin. Other thing about him, too, is, I mean, coaches described him as Cali cool. Yep. He's just got that right demeanor to dominate in this conference. Manny Marin tucks it inside the bag at 3rd. That's going to roll into the corner. Levi Clark heads to 3rd. Now he's being waved home, bobbled in the corner. Throw to the plate. Clark slides in safe. It's 2-0 Tennessee. Lindsey Nelson Stadium in a frenzy. Tennessee's tacked on 2 early runs.
Yeah, this is a huge swing from Marin. That's 92 down and in. Gets his hands through it, shoots it right down the 3rd baseline. Left field is oh so tricky in this park. You're going to see it get caught up onto the wall. Clark with the hesitation finds his way into home plate to make it 2-0. And we're seeing something you don't see a whole lot early on. Dylan Volantis in a little bit of trouble.
Maybe Tennessee just has the keys. Again, they were the only team that's beaten him in his career when they got him in relief in the SEC tournament last year, and he didn't get a ton of help from his Texas defense last year either. And so far tonight, we've seen a couple of balls get away from outfielders. Interesting too, I mean, for Anthony Pack Jr., he hasn't been in left field all year. He's been in some different spots. But a mound visit, not something I had on the bingo card for the bottom of the second.
No, this is a Tennessee team that's really started to turn around offensively. They've hit 31 homers over the last 10 games. They are now up to 91 homers, which is good for 10th nationally. They're on pace again to eclipse 100 homers for the 5th consecutive time in this season. Nobody would have been saying that 20 games ago. They have caught fire. They have been a lot tougher to get out, and they seem to have better games when the pitching is at its best against them.
Rising to the occasion so far tonight, here's Blaine Brown as he watches a first pitch down and away. You mentioned the offense turning a corner, and I mean, really, it was in a kind of a dark spot after they dropped the second game of the series against Ole Miss, but bounced back. They scored 13 in that Sunday finale, bounced back then with 14 in the midweek against Lipscomb, scored 8, 10, and 11 runs in the series against Alabama. Scored just 4 runs in the first 2 games of that Kentucky series, but, bounced back with a big result in that Sunday finale. So all in all, it's been pretty good for Tennessee's offense.
That's the thing that's difficult being a head coach at any spot in general. Like, you like consistency from your guys. Tennessee has had trouble with that as they've went, but they have really got it going over this last little stretch.
Hitters count for Blaine Brown. Chopper, right side, long way to go. Rodriguez from the shortstop spot makes a tough play and gets it to first to Pete Brown. He's playing up the middle there, but covered a lot of ground in that infield.
Yeah, playing some first base back in the day, that is not a fun play. You saw Borba over there, had to catch one that was about 95 miles an hour from Rodriguez, about 20 feet away.
He's normally not that close when he's thrown over to first. He doesn't really have just get it nice and easy over there in the repertoire. And now a runner on third. And Tennessee a chance to continue to tack on to this early lead. 1 down, and that third run 90 feet away, and Manny Marin. Stone Lawless down to the count 0-1. That bounces in front of the plate.
Wow,
Marin takes off for home. In there, safe. 3-0 Tennessee. Blink and you'll miss him. Didn't even really get that far away from Tinney at the plate.
This is the definition of savvy right here. This cannot be taught, fellas. This is instinctual as it gets. A dirt ball read that doesn't get very far out in front of the plate. Another huge run for the Volunteers, courtesy of Manny Marin, and some incredible base running.
So 3-0 Vols. Now the base is empty for Stone Lawless, who looks at ball 2. And Dylan Volantis just hasn't been able to control the strike zone the way that we're used to seeing from him. And that's hard hit. It's through into left. Ground ball single, Stone Lawless. 4th hit of the night for this Tennessee squad.
Yeah, Charlie, you can hear it too. I mean, bat to ball, it has been very loud from Tennessee so far. Volantis very good at keeping people off balance. Tennessee has been on point and on the barrel with their swings today so far.
For Dylan Volantis, his last 4 starts, a 1.52 ERA, 5-to-1 strike to walk ratio. I mean, you look at his last 3, struck out 12, gave up 2 earned runs against Bama. Struck out 11, gave up 1 run against Vanderbilt. And then, of course, last Friday, winning the SEC Pitcher of the Week honors, 12 strikeouts, no earned runs against Mississippi State. He's given up as many earned runs tonight as he has in his last 3 starts, and we're not even through the second. Garrett Wright lined out to center field his first time through, watches ball 1, even the count up. He's been valuable at the top of this order, leads the team hitting .400 with 16 hits over the last 10 games. singles continue for Tennessee. Back-to-back hits, runners on first and second. 5th hit of the night. This is uncharted territory for Dylan Volantes.
Yeah. 2 ABs, 2 really good swings from Garrett Wright. This is an excellent pitch. The reason Wright makes such good contact, you watch at home, look at how he uses his legs. He gets underneath that baseball with his body and not the bat, and that's why he gets to carry on that ball for a line drive up the middle.
3-0 lead for Tennessee and plenty of momentum. Heart of the order coming up with 2 on and 1 down. Grimmer first pitch swinging. Tennessee has the Longhorns on their heels right now. Grimmer, he's singled back in the first. Lets that 0-1 pitch bounce. So Volantes back home on the 1-1, and doesn't feel good if you're Carson Tenney. Say rub some dirt on it, but turf field.
Yeah, no jokes on that one. We're gonna give him a minute.
So meanwhile, Cody, if you're Dylan Volantes, I mean, this is probably the most rough an outing has been for you in your young college career at this point. 2nd year in college baseball. I mean, what's going through your mind out there? I know they say he's a laid-back kind of guy.
I mean, you've made incredible pitches so far. Tennessee's just taken better swings, and it's been bat to ball. And you got to understand too, like in this park, we talked about it, infield plays fast. Outfield, the ball's going to carry really, really well. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Some of this stuff's going to be out of your hand, and part of it too, you tip your hat to Tennessee. They've taken some really good swings against you as it goes, and that's the life of being in the SEC.
Trying to get out of this inning without any more damage. And there's a big pitch. The 1-2 swung over top of strike 3, and there's 2 away. You look, I mean, last 3 starts, he'd given up just 11 hits. Almost halfway there tonight.
Yeah, and I know it feels like we're harping on this a lot, but I mean, this is a huge deal. This guy is arguably one of the best pitchers, not only in the conference, but in the country. Tennessee fighting for their life. This would be a massive, massive victory for them if they could keep tacking on and getting Volantes out of this game early.
Tennessee 11-13 in the SEC. They say the mark is usually 13 SEC wins, 14 and you feel locked in, but 13 and you feel like it's more likely than not you see yourself in that tournament field. 6 SEC games left for Tennessee, you do the math.
Yeah, but you control your own destiny, and that's what you want to do. Do not put it in the hands of others. Tennessee really, really wants to get to 14 wins. Find a way to win 3 over this next stretch, and you're in, no questions about it. And if you're Texas, you're already sitting there. You're going to be a Super 8 host where you're hosting a regional and super, but it feels oh so sweet to put SEC champion in that trophy case at home.
2-1 here to Henry Ford. Comes in just off the plate. And yeah, Texas 2.5 games back with 6 to go in the SEC race. Played 1 less game than Georgia because they had that Sunday finale against A&M rained out. But look at the schedule for the Bulldogs compared to the Longhorns, and there's a chance. Ford tags this one, but it's right at Robinson right. And he makes the grab, but Tennessee, another big inning, 2 more runs at the bottom of the second. It's all Vols early. All kinds of connections between these 2 teams, these 2 programs. You get a look back at the TCU roster, 2011. See the 2 head coaches, Josh Elander, Jim Schlossnagle, another familiar name there, Tony Vitello as well. Not very often you get to coach against a former player if you're Jim Schlossnagle, but pretty cool to see these 2's careers meet again in this realm. Actually talking to Schlossnagle before the game, Cody, and he said that they still have a really good relationship. Haven't quite been in touch during the season. They kind of let each other do their thing, but talking pregame, they made some plans to get together after the season.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not uncommon. I mean, this season happens so fast, but these two guys have a great relationship. There's so much overlap in that. I mean, you look at Schloss's coaching tree. We'll keep it short here. Just guys that's been in the SEC. Randy Mazey, head coach at West Virginia, was at Tennessee. Tony Vitello, who we just saw, is with the Giants. Bill Mosiello, the head coach of Ohio State, was at Tennessee. Michael Early at Texas A&M. Josh Elander now. That's just a name of many that Schloss has had some tutelage to, that's went on and had some serious success at the next level.
Tegan Kuhns has had plenty of success tonight. 3 strikeouts. He's retired 6 straight. Ahead of Casey Borba here, 1-2. Yeah, under Schloss-Nagel's tutelage, Elander, 3 years at TCU, hit .333. And there's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts going back to last inning for Tegan Kuhns, and he struck out 4 of the last 5.
And this pitch is just unhittable. I mean, that's 95 miles an hour. That is just absolutely exploding out of Tegan Kuhns' hand.
So 1 down. Tegan Kuhns continues to roll. It's the 9-hole Maddox Mansour, the freshman who's recently been inserted into this lineup. Hit his first career home run earlier this week against UTSA. It was a game-tying 432-foot shot. Checks his swing here, and he went around on the appeal.
Yeah, this fastball, it's just so good at the top of the zone. It's incredible. You're going to get a lot of that. You know that it's up and out, but it's just so hard to lay off of.
Inside with the fastball, but missed ball 2. That's that fastball and the life on it. I mean, that's a big reason why you probably will see his name called in the first round of the MLB draft. 2-1, back over the plate.
Yeah, and watching him from last year, like the stuff's been incredible. He just had trouble getting guys out from time to time last season. How he's combated that. Look at, the fastball's got that arm side run. He's developed better off speed. The changeup's always been good, but the fastball has been the game changer from what we've seen last season to this season. It just has so much more life.
Well, the count's run full here. Don't want to give the 9-hole a free 90 if you're Kuhns. Payoff pitch. Rolled foul and on the hands. So the battle continues here. Tegan Kuhns ready to work quick. Another payoff pitch. Popped up left side and quickly gets out of play. Tegan Kuhns was preseason second-team All-American. Was on Baseball America's Pitcher of the Year watch list. Pitched to a 3.46 ERA this year. Another payoff pitch, left side again in the air. And again, this is going to keep drifting foul. Chase for the ball there.
Yeah, I mean, look at this park tonight, too. I mean, it is absolutely packed.
9th pitch of the at-bat. Got him swinging. Tegan Kuhns, electric stuff, 3 straight strikeouts. That's 5 on the night.
Yeah, he's now went through this Texas lineup that hits .301 against right-handers. Very, very good. Tegan Kuhns is a touch above at the moment.
Got some swagger to him right now. Big bounce back from last weekend up in Lexington, and there's 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and Aiden Robbins, he's been the only base runner today for Texas. He walked to start the game, waves through the breaking ball here. It's been a big bat for Texas at the top of the order.
Crazy numbers for a leadoff guy.
Check swing. Yes, he did. 3 appeals and 3 yes, he did go arounds tonight from Brian DeBrouwer. Coons trying to strike out the side. Here's the 0-2. Sent into left center, and this one could get down, could be trouble. It's off the wall. Robbins headed to second. Relay comes in, but it's a stand-up, two-out double. First hit of the night for the Longhorns.
Yeah, that's the first mistake we've seen Coons. That's an 0-2 hanger down the middle, and that's what good hitters do. Aiden Robbins not going to miss that pitch, tied up, I mean, just a few feet away from another home run.
Yeah, I think that might be one of those where you're just going, hey, I'm glad he's only on second.
In the park.
Let's get the next guy.
Because that was a mistake.
Next guy, though, he certainly can punish mistakes. Carson Tenney. He flew out to left his first time through as he watches a fastball called strike one. Tegan Coons keeping guys off balance so far tonight. 0-1 breaking ball misses. Carson Tenney, Notre Dame transfer, had big shoes to fill. Replaced Buster Posey Award finalist Rylan Galvan, who was drafted by the White Sox. He's done quite the job behind the dish. Coons throw over to second. Ball and a strike. A runner on second. And Coons again over the plate. Strike two. 5 punch outs tonight. Strike away from number 6. One-two deals. And this is hit out to left field. Long way, but hooking foul.
That ball felt like it was in the air for an eternity.
Lost it for a second and hung up there long enough to find it again and then watch it for another 3-4 seconds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hit off the street of Todd Helton Drive back there somewhere on a big hop.
Count remains 1-2. Runner in scoring position for Texas. The pitch, sent foul. That'll get up into the crowd.
Yeah, good spoil pitch right there. Good spoil swing from Tenney right there. That was 95 up and out of the zone. Getting rid of it, give yourself another chance.
Grimmer almost playing behind the bag at second, holding the runner. Now retreats as the 1-2's fouled off. Sun really providing some glare on that left side of the infield right now. Just in the eyes of Robbins there. Ready for another 1-2. And
yeah, he disengaged because pitch clock. He was really going to push getting rid of that pitch, so he just stepped off.
Seen him kind of change his rhythm tonight at times. Yeah. He's been quick, ready for the next pitch. Other times he's really taken his time.
Yeah, I think Tenney's fouled off a couple of really good pitches too, trying to make Tennessee think of how to go get it.
There's another really good pitch. A check swing, win around, strikeout number 6. Tegan Coons keeps it rolling.
Yeah, fastball's just playing up big in the zone, gets another chase, another punch out.
Tennessee offense finding some success early tonight against Dylan Volantis. It was a big second inning. Manny Marin, a big knock, 3 runs early for this Tennessee team.
Yeah, and the thing that stands out the most right now is what we said, the sound of contact right now for Tennessee. It has been loud. Volantis gets a lot of ground balls, lets his defense work behind him, gets a lot of punch outs when he needs it. Tennessee has only struck out one time so far. They have a .455 average against Volantis so far through these first couple of innings.
Again, you see Volantis has given up as many runs tonight as he has his last 3 starts. Just not a position he's found himself in really at any point in his career. And now Trent Grintlinger, first pitch swinging, got under it. Out to right field. Robbins ranges to his left, is there for the grab.
Now batting, the right fielder, Reese Chapman.
So one down for Reese Chapman. That's got to be nice, too, if you're Dylan Volantis, to come back out after a lengthy bottom of the second, get 1 pitch, 1 out right there.
Without a doubt. You know, you're just trying to get settled in at the moment. Tennessee's kind of jumped on you a little bit early. Let them help you out a little bit, swinging at first pitch, and try to use that to your advantage.
First pitch, strike fired to Reese Chapman. And I know we highlighted a pitcher's duel tonight, but it's not often that 3 runs wins an SEC baseball game either. So, you know, if you're Volantis, you're just, at this point, you're just trying to work and make sure it stays at 3.
Yeah, funny you bring that up, Charlie. I had that one of my notes. Tennessee is 30-3 on the season when they hold their opponents to under 5 runs per game, and you're going to hear that number for both teams. It's very common. 5 is that number. Tennessee is 2-14 when they give up 6 or more. You turn around and you look at Texas on that side. They're 29-4 when they score 5 or more. They're 6-5 when they score 5 or less, or 4 or less. So that is going to be the magic number. Tennessee on a good pace right now early to get there.
Keeping an eye on that number 5 this weekend. Feels like a race to 5. Tegan Coons.
I would say
the dugout. Yeah, he's thinking maybe, hey, let's just keep it 0.
Yep. Maybe, and 1 may be all I need right now.
Chapman swinging out of his shoes on the 3-1.
But it's just crazy numbers. You look at that. I mean, I'm sure it's like that for a lot of teams in the country. But again, Tennessee 30-3 when they hold their opponents under 5 runs. Texas is 29-4 when they score more than 5.
That's almost unreal. The Squibber there in on the hands, but able to drop it over the shift down for a single. Reese Chapman on.
Yeah, pitch it gets in on the hands of Chapman, but it is perfect placement. Texas had the shift. Chapman lobs it over the net for another single in Tennessee's 6th hit of the night.
6 hits. And wow, hearing it out loud, that's just not what we were ready for tonight. And now Levi Clark, he walked and scored a run last inning. Offers that the first pitch from Volantis. 1 on, 1 out. Tennessee plated 1 in the bottom of the first, 2 more in the second. Volantis misses low. For Dylan Volantis, too, he is coming off of a career high 107 pitches, and right now here in the bottom of the third, and he's already approaching that 60 mark. You know, you wonder, thinking the Texas bullpen might be asked to do a little bit more tonight than maybe they expected.
Yeah, and you just kind of see how it plays out from here. If he calms down, you know, he eats through a few more innings. Obviously, that's the name of the game, right? You try to keep the bullpen intact as long as possible, because Saturday and Sunday is where it tends to get a little bit hairier around here, and you try to keep those arms fresh. So that's, I mean, that's the battle. Tennessee, you get him knocked out, it's a win-win. You beat one of the best pitchers in the country early on, and then you start getting into 2, 3, 4 arms in the bullpen.
1-2 pitch to Levi Clark, froze him. Nasty there from Dylan Volantis. His first strikeout, or excuse me, second punch out of the night. And there's 2 away.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good pitch, 81 miles an hour. And if you're Clark, that's the scouting report. You try to stay away from the one that's down in the zone. You got to see it up. It's well executed. It's right down on the knees for the second punch out of the night for Dylan Volantis.
2 outs now with a runner on first for the Vols. Manny Marin delivered a big hit last inning, driving in Levi Clark with a double up the line. First pitch off speed, taken for strike one. 60th pitch there from Volantis. Hard hit again, but Marin out in front hooks it foul.
Yeah, Chapman was on the move right there and was just about to bring that up. He's 7 for 7 in the stolen base department on the season. Hasn't been thrown out once. You'd have loved to get him in scoring position here with 2 outs and had a big jump, but Marin got a good pitch to swing at and fouled it off.
They have to battle now, 0-2. Rolled foul into the Longhorn dugout. Shade covering most of the field now. 0-2. Marin able to lay off. It's a Texas team, a .383 team ERA heading into the series. Second in the conference, 11th in the nation. Been just about as good in SEC play, .386 in conference. 1-2 here, sent straight away center field. Mansour, plenty of room. Able to make the grab, and the single doesn't come back to bite Texas. Through 3, and Tennessee up 3 here in Knoxville. Tegan Kuhn, 6 strikeouts tonight, keeping this Longhorn lineup in check.
Yeah, I mean, he's been phenomenal. You see the fastballs playing at 95, big 12-6 bender, really kept this Texas lineup off stack, or off, he's messed them up pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. Team hitting summary, Texas is 1 for 10, 100 average, 1 base on balls, 6 punch outs, 0 for 4 with runners on, 0 for 1 in runners in scoring position, and 1 for 4 with 2 outs.
And there's strike one to Anthony Pack, pick it up where he left off. Strikeouts to end the first, second, and third innings. He struck out 3 in the third. Entering the weekend, Tennessee's pitching staff ranks 11th nationally, 504 strikeouts. And as a staff, Tennessee struck out 10 or more batters in 33 of their 49 games this season. And Coons already working ahead of Pack here. Anthony Pack Jr., he lined out his last time through. Might have gotten away from Coons, bounced it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him when he gets going too, because he typically doesn't waste pitches. He gets 0-2 and he typically goes right at guys.
1-2. Pack able to fight it off. An SEC Freshman of the Year candidate. You know, somewhat of a surprise even to see him make it to campus as opposed to heading to the draft. He's one of their highest rated recruits in a long time, one of the highest to ever make it to the 40 acres. 1-2. Swung through, strike 3. Tegan Kuntz. Keep him coming. Strikeout number 7 here in the 4th.
And this goes back to the old adage, right? Like the hitter will tell you what's going on. Well, this Texas lineup right now is telling you that Tegan Kuntz fastball is absolutely dynamic.
I mean, second time through the order, what are they talking about? What conversations are being had in that Texas dugout?
Yeah, well, usually what happens at this moment right now, we highlighted this a couple weeks ago too, like you just hope you can get him out of here at some point in the game, you know, in reality, like he's not making mistakes. Like, I mean, everything's aggressive, he's attacking people. You can't really throw him off rhythm because of the pitch clock now. You just hope you wear him down enough to get him out at some point and see another arm.
Josh Livingston, the pinch hitter for Texas. This is Ethan Mendoza's spot in the order. It was Callum Early that came in as a defensive substitution, and now Livingston will beat the shift with a bunt. You said beautiful, Cody. That's one of my favorite plays in baseball.
Especially if they're going to give it to you right now. And again, perfect situation to do this. We just talked about Kuntz is absolutely on fire. They're going to give you a free hit. You just got to get it somewhere down that line. I mean, masterclass of how to beat the shift right there.
Third base runner of the night for Texas. Second hit for the Longhorns. 1 on, 1 out, bringing Adrian Rodriguez up to the dish.
And that's what makes baseball so much fun. History repeats itself. You know, a bunt was a bad word a few years ago, and now you see it come back into play right here with Livingston on the major league level. You're seeing the Nats, the Pirates. There's a lot of
return of small ball.
Baby.
Bring it back, baby. That's my favorite kind of baseball.
Fun.
You know, you can have your strikeout or home run hitters. I want a guy that's going to lay a bunt down and then steal second base.
It's just getting hard, right? I mean,
pressure on the defense.
The pitchers are so good, man. These guys are incredible now. You can't play for the long ball anymore. You're going to see it come back. You're going to see a lot more like 80s, 90s style of baseball, flat bat, get guys on. These guys are just so electric on the mound now. You got to, how do you beat a guy like this? You got to get him in the stretch as much as possible.
0-1 to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, one of those guys that just loves baseball, and you know, Jim Schlossnagle, he's kind of laughed that they have to kick him out of the cage sometimes because he just doesn't want to leave. He wants to keep working. Came back from an injury recently, and Schloss said he needs to see the field. He said he's awesome to have in the dugout, but it's like a hyper kid having him at home. You know, on a rainy day, you put him outside anyway, just not wanting to deal with it anymore. He had missed a couple of weeks with the minor hand procedure. Went from March 28th to April 17th without any action. It's been 11 for 43 since returning. Down 0-2 here. And waves through strike 3 from Tegan Kuntz. Number 8. Electric stuff, second of the inning.
Yeah, and that bat just looked uncomfortable from start to finish. 75-mile-an-hour bender. And ouch, that looked painful.
Big grimace there from Rodriguez, but now 1 on and 2 down. And Timo Becerra will try to keep the inning alive for Texas. He flew out to right field his first time through. Kuntz with 2 strikeouts this inning. Becerra sends one out to right. Chapman over to the line and makes the grab. Tegan Kuntz continues to keep the Texas lineup in check, and the Vols still lead. Well, a packed house tonight in Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and certainly the orange and white, well, Pantone 151 orange and white clad fans enjoying the evening so far. As Tennessee's jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and this is a series that fans probably had circled. And you remember last year they met in the SEC tournament. Cody, that is the only career loss for Dylan Volantis. Only time ever he's lost was against Tennessee last year in that 12-inning thriller.
Yeah, and again, we just highlighted he has been absolutely incredible in college baseball since he's been here. You see how good the stuff is, and right now, and these couple times since he sees him, they see the ball well off of him. They kind of have his number at the moment.
Hard hit ground ball, but played on the right side of the infield by the shortstop Rodriguez, and there's 1 down here in the 4th.
Yeah, we got some defensive substitutions for Texas. Josh Livingston remains in the game at first base. Casey Borba moves from first to third base. Timo Becerra now moves to second base as they reset their infield.
Again, having to make some adjustments on the fly. Ethan Mendoza, one of their stars at second base, laid out for a ground ball and just kind of laid there for a moment or two, uncomfortable, as, you know, both hands landed underneath his body on the dive. They checked him out and he exited the game. Don't know his status, but that's led to the changes for this Longhorn squad. 0-1 to Stone Lawless, misses low.
I messed that up too. I knew I was going to do it. It's Timo Becerra.
Timo Becerra.
Sorry about that, guys. Such a fun name to say.
Another really fun guy too. Really cool story for him, actually. Both of his parents immigrated from Mexico, and he's the first generation college student in his family. He's the first one to graduate from college, got that Stanford degree. talked about how cool it is that he's been able to go to universities like Stanford and like Texas, given his family's history, and certainly an opportunity this year he hasn't taken for granted.
That's a great story. That Stanford degree, that'll do something for him down the road.
Infield shifts over to the left ahead of the 2-2. Lawless hits it that way, but foul. So 3 on the left side of the infield, another 2-2 coming. Volantis home. Tried to backdoor Lawless, couldn't quite bring it all the way back there.
Yeah, and you see Lawless with the face guard. I know if you're not familiar with Tennessee, you wonder why that happened. He got hit with a fastball to the face in the Vanderbilt series earlier in the year. Had to have multiple surgeries on a couple of facial fractures. Came back a lot earlier than expected. And you see he's got that little bit of extra protection for him, and Tennessee's super excited to get him back. I mean, a real team leader. He shows the toughness that he has right there, and especially being behind the plate every day for his pitching staff.
Yeah, you talk to his Tennessee teammates, they'll call him one of the best teammates they've ever had. I mean, he's just been that kind of guy for Tennessee inside that locker room. Sends the 3-2 out the other way, and that's into the student section out in the porches.
I mean, he just looks tough with that thing on, right? It kind of fits the mentality.
He's been battling here. It's a lengthy at-bat for Lawless. Another payoff pitch. Hard grounder to third. Borba over at the hot corner this inning, able to make the play in time to Livingston at first. Couple of quick outs. Perhaps Volantis starting to settle in. He's set down 4 straight. 7 of the last 8. Back to the top of the order here with Garrett Wright. 1 for 2 on the night. He singled his last at-bat. Ball 1 misses off the plate. Just a consistent force at the top of that order. He's earned the nickname Soldier from his teammates. Missed the first 3 weeks after transferring over from Bowling Green, but he's been as steady as they come since. Count moves to 1-1. 1-1 misses low. Good eye from Wright. At that .352 average. He's reached base in 35 of his 37 starts. Now 36 of 38. Fouls off the 2-1.
He's looked really comfortable tonight off Volantis as well. You can just see he's picking up the ball well. Nothing's really fooled him so far. And he's made a few really good pitches against him.
Volantis looking for another big pitch here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that misses off the plate. Outside of the righty right. He's been patient tonight. Another long at-bat. 2 straight that have gone full. Payoff pitch. And there's ball 4 outside. Garrett Wright works the 2-out walk. Second free pass issued from Dylan Volantis tonight. So he scored in 2 of the first 3 innings. And now we'll try to put together a 2-out rally. Hitting .258 on the year coming into the night with 2 outs. Grimmer waves through the first pitch.
Go, Blake!
Tennessee's had a base runner every inning against Dylan Volantis. No different here. 0-1's down and away. This is the Texas pitching staff that mean, they have the motto, dominate the zone. Volantis is a guy that, I mean, really a heavy strike percentage, just not used to seeing him miss the zone as often as he has tonight. Not that he's been, you know, wild or anything. It's just he hasn't been dominant, and we're used to dominance.
And you nailed it, right? I mean, this staff as a whole usually pitched a strike percentage around 65%. Volantis is down to 58%. He has 47 strikes to 34 balls and counting.
Well, back over the plate there, gets a called strike 2 to even up the count.
Then you look at Tegan Kuhns right now. He's pitching at a 68.5% strike rate. 73 pitches total, 50 strikes to 23 balls.
My goodness. 2-2, runner takes off, the pitch inside, throw down.
What a throw.
Safe. Garrett Wright beats an excellent throw from Carson Tinney.
Texas is challenging.
That transfer was incredible.
This play is unbelievable.
And Texas wants to challenge. They're going to take another look.
That was a huge jump by Wright. He went on first move. For Tinney to make that as close as it did is truly saying something.
He's going to take another look at it. We'll get another look at it here.
I mean, it's bang bang right there for sure.
Looks like that left hand.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing to watch. It looks like the tag was up around the face. And then it's going to come down to that left hand get there first.
Cody, I think he snuck it in there. Get a better view.
Yeah, well,
from
yeah, he looks like
back.
he missed him, right? It looks like that tag kind of went up into that right shoulder or that back shoulder. So if that's the case, I think this call on the field stands. I think that look from center field was really, really good angle. And what you're going to see right now is we're going to get this Hawkeye viewpoint, and they have the ability to really zoom in and see what they want to. And again, this is the angle that I like, that center field action.
Oh,
and that may change it right there,
Yep.
right? The power of zoom. You see where he glanced that, maybe that forearm, and we're going to get that rolling.
yeah, those
After
SEC
review,
cameras.
the runner is out. Tennessee has 2 challenges remaining.
I think that was the correct call.
Caught stealing on the replay. It's overturned. And we're done with 4 here in Knoxville. It's Tennessee, the 3-0 lead against the Longhorns.
I cannot help my fixation.
Best conference tournament in all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover.
The SEC tournament coming up here in just a couple of weeks begins May 19th on SEC Network. And Cody, the big change that came out earlier this week, the ABS system is coming to Hoover, coming to the SEC tournament on an experimental basis.
Yeah, and it was funny, we were talking about it a couple series ago about what the introduction to ABS in college baseball would look like, and lo and behold, you know, I said it was going to be forever away, and ended up being just a few weeks away. And you can see that teams are going to begin with the 3 challenges. Only batter, pitcher, and catcher is going to have the ability to do so, which is much like Major League Baseball, and going to add a little bit more of a strategery in the SEC tournament for a lot of these teams.
Hey, if you're right, you keep it. You know, that's been the fun thing about the MLB too. It's gotten the crowd involved on some of these challenges, and again, you get 1 per extra inning. But going to use that Hawkeye system to be able to immediately verify where that ball passed through the defined 3D strike zone. Implemented in the MLB this year. And like you said, I mean, did not expect to see it in the college game this quickly. Because, you know, I mean, the MLB, they did all the full body scans,
Forever.
and it was such an in-depth process to be able to get all the scans exactly right and the strike zones perfect that, yeah, I'm surprised that they've been able to get it done, but I'm excited to see what it looks like. It could be a lot of fun. Gosh, can you imagine some of these SEC crowds? I mean, Lindsey Nelson, or, you know, the Dude, or down in Baton Rouge.
Well, they're very
for a big
hospitable,
review.
especially to the umpires. So.
Tegan Kuntz, he's going to keep it rolling. 3-pitch strikeout, and there's number 8.
Now batting for 30.
Yeah, and you see this at home, and you're like, how does this keep happening? Like, why? It's a crazy angle when you see that 95. It feels very, very weird to feel like that fastball is climbing, but that is the effect that Tegan Kuhn's fastball has at the moment, and it just becomes so difficult to lay off of because you don't have time. Again, right? Like, I mean, it's 60 feet 6 inches. He's climbing, you know, roughly 6 feet down the mound with 95 and carry. Your brain just can't process it quick enough to hold up.
So again, 9 strikeouts, not 8 for Kuhns. Striking him out faster than I can keep up. And now up 0-2 here on Casey Borba. He is not wasting a lot of time. Borba struck out already tonight. Larson, who just went down swinging, is now struck out twice. And there's a backwards K for Tegan Kuhns. Froze Borba, strikeout number 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is an absolute clinic so far against one of the best hitting teams in the country. I mean, he just isn't missing right now, Charlie. I mean, there is no mistakes being made, and it is a very, very frustrating thing if you're in a lineup against a guy that is cooking on all cylinders at the moment.
We are looking at a guy that is all the way locked in, just completely in the zone, and now starts off Maddox Mansour with strike 1 called. Gonna run out of room. Oh, 1.
And again, this is where the pitch clock really works against the offense as well, because it's all about rhythm. Kuhns has rhythm, and you cannot disrupt it because everything's moving so quick with that pitch clock.
By the way, that's now 34 of 50 games this year. The staff has struck out 10 or more, and there's strike 2 fired by Tegan Kuhns. Chance to strike out the side. Crowd getting loud here at Lindsey Nelson. The 1-2. Skied. Gets out of play, foul. Nice catch there in the crowd. One, 2 again. Got him swinging. A career-high 11 strikeouts for Tegan Kuhns. He strikes out the side in the 5th. Nasty stuff.
Yeah, if you're watching at home, this is an absolute clinic on how to use a fastball to get punch-outs.
Well, an excellent billing tonight with our 2 starters, a couple of guys that gotta have a long career, Volantis and Kuhns. And Cody, it's been Tegan Kuhns so far that's had the advantage.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. And let's go back to that strike percentage. Volantis is down to 54% strike rate. Kuhns is up to 72%. And again, role reversal right there. Kuhns struggled a little bit early on, and now he is not missing a beat. You go back and you look at the last few outings. February 27th against UCLA, 10 punch-outs into that game. April 18th, that was 10 punch-outs against Ole Miss. And now tonight against Texas Longhorns, he has eclipsed both of those with 11 strikeouts, and we are only in the 5th inning.
Well, Cody, I'm laughing here. I think every single time tonight we've seen him in the dugout, he's just been pacing.
He's a madman
We need
now.
like a step counter on Tegan Kuhns in the dugout right now. Whatever works. Hey, just keep pacing, man. 1-0 here to Blake Grimmer. Called strike one.
Yeah, pitchers are hilarious, man. You just never know what you're going to get. You get some of these guys that are more mild manner, and then you got this guy over here right now. He's walked, like you said, about 7 miles over in the dugout so far.
Just still pacing and pacing, and now the 1-1 backs Grimmer off the plate. You know, for Dylan Volantis, talking about these two aces tonight, he has really started to find a rhythm. Did give up the walk in the fourth, but Garrett Wright caught stealing. Faced the minimum in the fourth, gave up just the one single in the third. He's retired 7 of the last 9 batters he's faced. Grimmer's 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the first, struck out in the second. Inside, called strike 2.
Then you just, I mean, you look at it coming into tonight, Volantis, he had 62 and 2/3 innings pitched to 92 strikeouts. That's an incredible number. Tennessee only struck out twice on the night, but they've equaled that with 2 base on balls.
This one in play, but playable at second as Becerra gets it in time to Livingston. So 1 away, and the rhythm continues for Volantis. It'll bring Henry Ford to the plate. Tennessee 6 hits tonight, but Henry Ford 0 for 2. Ground out and a line out. This hard hit on the ground. It's bobbled. Rodriguez staying with it. And the throw gets to Livingston in time. Hasn't been the cleanest night necessarily, but able to stick with the play there, and a couple of quick outs.
Yeah, and Rodriguez did a great job. That's what you're taught right there is you go to field that ball and you lose control of it, pick it up with your hand. Don't try to go back to the glove again. To pick it up with your hand, push it into the ground for your grip to make your throw, and that's why he still had the ability to throw Ford out at first base.
First pitch to Grindlinger, almost got a piece of him. Freshman doubled back in the first inning. Flew out to center his last at-bat. Checks his swing, but went around. Called a strike at the plate. David Susi behind the dish tonight. Ball and a strike to Grindlinger. Well located right there on the black, strike 2. Volantis looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 home, another check swing, and Grindlinger held up in time. Guy that's really just had a professional approach for Tennessee. But Volantis in a rhythm for the Longhorns. 2-2. Off the end of the bat, rolled over to first. Livingston has it, he'll step on the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th. Dylan Volantis sets the balls down in order, but it's Tennessee who still leads. Welcome back to Knoxville. Cody on, Charlie Collier with you tonight, and Tegan Kuhns. It's been all Tegan Kuhns tonight. 11 strikeouts, he struck out 3 in a row. 4 of the last 5, Cody, 10 of the last 14. He's been on a different level.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, as good as it gets, as good as I've seen him, and I feel like I've said that a lot in his last few appearances, but the rhythm is good. I mean, this fastball is just absolutely electric.
It's been live tonight. Now we'll see this Texas order for a 3rd time through. Aiden Robbins, the leadoff batter. He has 1 of just 2 hits tonight for Texas. The other was a bunt single.
Yeah, this is the only guy in Texas lineup that feels or looks at least comfortable in the box against Tegan Kuhns.
It's hard to get him uncomfortable.
I was about to say, when you hit 360, I don't think you could throw anybody out there you wanted to.
I mean, it was great at Seton Hall, then tore it up in the Cape. It's been awesome this year. Said he's not scared to play anybody, so it doesn't really matter who's up there, just another guy throwing the ball to me when it was asked about making that jump to SEC play before the year. And, well, that's certainly come true for him.
So he's lived up to that billing.
Counts 2-1, and yeah, he's taken it another level in SEC play. It's been unreal.
Holy cow.
Guy that Michael Early, the Texas A&M coach, called one of the best hitters I've ever seen, just a stud. Projected first-round pick. He had his 200th career hit in Sunday's finale against Mississippi State last weekend. 2-2 here to Aiden Robbins. Line foul. Slightly recruited as a Pennsylvania prep prospect and decided, hey, I was going to go mid-major. He said kind of just explore and risk it all to up his stock and be able to portal to a big-time program, and did just that with Texas. And on the hands, popped up shallow right field. Reese Chapman running in, calls off Grimmer, and secures the catch. Tegan Coons continues to roll along. 6 straight set down. 1 away, and here comes Carson Tenney. Fly out and a strikeout so far for the Longhorns catcher. Coons up at 91 pitches. Popped up on the first pitch. Shallow right field again, this time Grimmer gonna be the one to handle it. Drifting towards the line, there's out number 2. Tegan Coons.
You said 92 pitches, but I mean that last fastball still at 95, and that's the top end of his scouting report. So I think he's still feeling pretty good.
I mean, we were looking at the pitch count coming into the inning, wondering if this could potentially be his last, but a couple of quick outs. See what he does against Anthony Pack, but not so sure that we're not going to continue to see Tegan Coons.
He may fight somebody if they try to take the ball away from him anyway.
0-1 off the plate. Anthony Pack Jr. a line out tonight and a strikeout. And you wonder, too, just how comfortable he is swinging. Just wasn't swinging the bat all week, trying to rest that little tweak that he did deal with from the weightlifting. And it just is a couple of days off, but sometimes it's about that rhythm.
It is 100%. This leads the Longhorns in conference play batting average at .384, the only guy ahead of Aiden Robbins.
1-2 from Coons. Got him swinging. Another strikeout. That's 12. He keeps it rolling. 1-2-3. Go the Longhorns in the 6th. So the night is through for Dylan Volantis. Handshakes and hugs in the dugout as he goes through 5 innings, gives up 3 runs, 2 strikeouts. Not his dominant self tonight, Cody, but still did a nice job there extending his outing and getting Texas to the 6th.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, kind of dealt with some adversity early on. Tennessee took some good swings. He settled in and held Tennessee for 3 scoreless over that last little stretch, and that'll save some bullpen in the long run.
Well,
yep, I said, speaking of bullpen.
Yeah, new arm in the game. It's Cody Howard, a guy that we haven't seen a lot of this year. Big right-hander, redshirt senior from the Woodlands, Texas. Transferred from Baylor, standing at 6'1", 210 pounds. Just his 4th appearance of the year. Maybe not a guy we thought would be the first arm in tonight.
Yeah, fastball is going to play 93 to 95, cutter 88 to 92, slider 81 to 83. The fastball is the one that's got the play, 93 to 95. It's got that upshoot feel, so it's going to have a lot of arm side run, going back up in towards a righty. Like you said, he's Only 3 innings pitched so far. He's given up 1 hit, 1 base on balls, 1 strikeout. Opponents hit 100 against Cody Howard.
Tennessee just came out to play tonight. Jumped on Dylan Volantis from the get-go. 5 hits, 3 runs in the first 2 innings. I mean, really, before we even blinked, Tennessee had a lead in this game. So able to chase the Longhorns' ace. First pitch from Cody Howard to Reese Chapman. Misses outside. It's 1-0. Chapman 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a ground out. This is hit the other way. Running in, hangs up just long enough for Pack Jr. to make the running grab. Cody Howard out of the pen and gets the first batter he faces back to the dugout. Comes Levi Clark. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run tonight. Clark clears it out the other way towards the concourse. Strike 1. For Tennessee, you know, I know it has to feel good having Chase Volantis and, you know, put up those early runs, but you got a really good offense opposite of you. Need to keep that foot on the gas.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's a very dangerous offense, and it's going to be a sensitive subject for some of the fans here in Knoxville, but there's been some issues in that Tennessee bullpen, so anything you can extend, you most definitely want to, because it has been a little bit of an unknown what you're going to get when Tennessee has to move on from their starter.
Yeah, as good as Tegan Kuhns has been tonight, you know, if you're Tennessee, you're thinking, let's just tack on as many insurance runs as possible, even if you don't end up needing them. 2-1, now 3-1 to Levi Clark. Kuhns still has the glove on in the dugout. I don't think they're taking him out of that game just yet.
I don't think he's going to allow it to happen.
Hitters count to Clark. Howard back over the plate. So the count runs full, 3-2. Shift on here.
Yeah, speaking, it's a pretty amazing stat right here. Kuhns with that punch out, with those punch out last innings.
Oh, get to that stat in a moment. Levi Clark punched out, and he's not happy about it, shaking his head as he's walking back to the dugout. So might have expanded just a hair there for Cody Howard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that one.
I think
that's
in
a little bit of low and away for sure.
2 more weeks, Levi Clark might get to tap the helmet on that one. Your stat on Tegan Kuhns, though.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 against Robbins, Tenney, and Pack. Struck them out, or retired the side on 11 pitches against arguably one of the best top 3 hitters in any lineup in college baseball.
Unreal what he's done tonight. Tennessee's offense trying to help him out. 1-0 to Manny Marin, fouled off. Last hit for Tennessee was a Reese Chapman single back in the 3rd. Did get a base runner, a Garrett Wright walk in the 4th. He was caught stealing, went 1-2-3 last inning. And Marin, a big cut on the 1-1. Can't catch up. Cody Howard looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Marin pops this one up, right field. Long run for Robbins, sliding effort, and it drops foul. And Marin will get another shot. Off the bat, Cody, I thought that was going to be more routine, and it just kept drifting and drifting further into foul territory.
Yeah, Marin kind of got jammed on this pitch and had to inside out it a little bit. And what happened, that ball kind of started right there towards the foul pole or right down the line and just kept drifting and drifting just outside of Robbins' reach because it had a little bit of that inside-out type of swing. But I think if you ask Robbins, if you take a look at that replay again, he makes that play, 9 times out of 10.
Well, for Manny Marin, there was that one time as now he picks his bat back up. Caught his breath. Another 1-2. Off the plate there, swallowed up by Tinney.
But this is a good mix right here for Schlossnagle and his pitching staff. Volantis, very tall, very downhill, a lot of ground ball to Howard. Total opposite, lower arm slot, tons of carry on a fastball up. So really good mix and match.
2-2, got him swinging, back-to-back strikeouts. Cody Howard comes out of the pen and makes quick work of the Tennessee order. We're through 6 here in Knoxville. 3-0 Tennessee lead. The Vols bats got hot early. Trent Grindlinger RBI double in the first. And then Tennessee, a couple more runs in the second inning. It was Manny Marin that got it started with the double down the line. Tennessee's bats kept it rolling, and then Marin ended up scoring on the wild pitch. And then Cody on the other side, Tegan Kuhn's pure domination.
Yeah, in a game that Tennessee, like you said, is fighting for their postseason life. Tegan Kuhn's has been absolutely sensational. You see the numbers right here. He hasn't needed a lot of help from that offense with the way that he is throwing and the way that fastball is moving.
Yeah, that bottom line certainly eye-catching. The Texas offense, 2 for 20 tonight. Just the one extra base hit, the only other hit, a bunt single. It came actually from Josh Livingston, the man that leads off.
Yep, Tennessee still moves over into the shift. Marin is on the second baseman side of second, but Ford stays home at third to take away the bunt.
Fool me once, shame on you. Is that how that saying goes?
Something like that, right?
Now Ford can move back over. 2 strikes. Not anticipating any kind of bunt here. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings worked by Tegan Kuhn's. Now the 0-2 to Livingston. Got him swinging. Took a little something off of it that time for strikeout number 13.
Yeah, got him out in front on the pitch before, slowed it back down, 81 mile an hour, change up, perfectly executed. You can see right there at the knees, forced to swing.
How about
another
that smile?
punch out. Yeah.
He's feeling it.
Sir.
Adrian Rodriguez, he struck out tonight, trying to avoid the hat trick. First pitch. Kuhn's backdoored him on the 100th pitch of the night for strike 1. Back inside with the fastball, pounding the zone. There's 2 strikes. Crowd to their feet again. 0-2 delivery. Got him swinging. Another strikeout. Number 14, he's unconscious. 3 straight going back to the 6th. Just in awe in the performance we're getting tonight from Tegan Kuhn's.
Yeah, Charlie, I mean, I'm running out of words now at the moment. I mean, this is just sensational.
Sensational, dazzling, electric. Got to get the thesaurus out.
Right.
As he fires strike 1 to Timo Becerra. Becerra has flown out to right field each of his first 2 at-bats. Hat came off for Kuhn's. Sarah's average has dipped a hair under 300. Lays off of the 0-1 off-speed pitch. And it's a Texas team that likes to, see pitches and where it counts. And Cody Tegan Kuhns hasn't really given them the opportunity to do that.
Not at all. Like we highlighted it, Texas 4.11 pitches per plate appearance. That's number 2 in the country to Ohio State. And Tegan Kuhns went right at that. He is besides the first batter of the game, has attacked them from pitch to pitch, and Texas has had no answer so far.
2-1 here, really one of the only times we've seen a behind in the count. And Becerra rockets one past the diving mitt of Manny Marin short and to left center field for a single. Third hit of the night for Texas.
Yeah, it's a fastball at 94 out over the plate. I mean, that's a short, compact, really good swing. And if you're Texas, just wanted to see something different, like force him to make a different move at the moment because he was so locked in for a long stretch.
Well, that snaps a streak of batters retired for Tegan Kuhns that had hit 9. Last base runner for the Longhorns was Livingston, Josh Livingston, back in the 4th inning when he reached on the bunt single. Ashton Larson is 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of strikeouts. Pitch misses off the plate, 1-0.
Yeah, and Becerra's 10 for 10 on stolen bases on the season, but down 3-0 late in the game, you kind of neutralize that if you're Tennessee. So advantage to the Volunteers, and again, hats off to Tegan Kuhn, no pun intended, for what we've seen so far, but really, really kept them at bay and is limiting Texas in some of the areas they like to work in.
Keeping them honest over there at first as well. 1-0 to Larson. Found the zone, strike 1. Another throw over. Becerra dives back. Beautiful sunset there in the background, too.
That's what I was just about to talk about. You look out over that left center field fence, you got the bluff right above the Tennessee River right here. I mean,
that's picture perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Put that on a poster and sell it. 1-1. Hard hit and to left center. Back-to-back base hits for the Longhorns. Perhaps a 2-out rally brewing here in the 7th. Haven't had a lot going tonight, Cody, but all of a sudden, got the potential tying run of the box.
Yeah, a couple good swings right there. We've seen some that's the hanging curveball out over the plate right there, and you start to wonder if that pitch count is starting to wear on him just a little bit.
I think you're trying to let him get to the end of this 7th, but a couple of guys on now, 109 pitches, and well, a little bit of a delayed decision, maybe some deliberation there in the dugout, but here comes Josh Elander out to the mound.
You think he's going to get a standing ovation when he walks off that mound?
Well, the crowd's already on their feet just for Elander walking off. I mean, out. I mean, that is one of the better pitching performances we've seen here in Lindsey Nelson Stadium in a long time. And they're going to let him stay out there. Tegan Kuhns said not so fast. He wants that last out. Crowd loves it.
Yeah, that may be a big shot of adrenaline right there.
So the relationship with Josh Elander and his pitcher Tegan Kuhns, the trust there to leave him in. And now if you're Kuhns, you got to deliver on your end of the deal.
Put an asterisk beside this at bat right here. This could be a major swing in the game one way or another.
Casey Borba up to bat, 2 on for Texas. First pitch out to left. Long way, hooking foul. Oh my goodness. Crowd's on their feet, and I think everyone just held their breath there. That was almost a game tire.
Yeah, and that was 93, and Borba was not fooled at all. That fastball that's been so dynamic is starting to get caught up to a little bit.
Long strike 1. Counts 0-1.
Massive lead for Larson at first base.
Kuhns disengages.
Yeah, Tennessee's in that shift right now, and they have Clark moved way over towards second baseman side. And Larson's got a massive lead. Anything in the gap, he's scoring on for sure.
Counts 0-1 to Casey Borba. 2 on, 2 out. Breaking ball, found the zone. Strike 2 call. It's getting loud here in Lindsey Nelson. Dugout telling the crowd to get to their feet. And they are listening. 0-2. Off the plate. Not a bad idea at all. Trying to expand the zone. Tegan Kuhns, 1-2 delivery. Got him swinging. There's number 15. Have yourself a night, Tegan Kuhns. And he's fired up as he leaves the field. They gave him a chance to get the last out, and he got the punch out. Welcome back here to Knoxville, and here's what just happened last inning with Tegan Kuhns. It starts the mound visit, right? Josh Elander, 2 on, 2 outs, pitch counts up. Thought maybe he was coming to get him, and Cody, Tegan Kuhns wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Kuhns thought that he was done. Elander relies in this pitcher in Tegan Kuhns, and he delivers the 15th strikeout of the night for Tegan Kuhns and this Tennessee volunteer pitching staff.
And again, how about the player-coach relationship there to simply ask your guy, hey, you have it? He says yes, all right, go get it. Both sides delivering on their end of the deal, and now Blaine Brown stops a streak of batters retired. First hit for the Vols since the 3rd inning is a leadoff single.
Yeah, it's a good fastball in on the hands. Brown just strong enough to muscle it out. Give Tennessee its 7th hit and a leadoff runner at first base to begin the bottom of the 7th.
Soon Tennessee going to be headed to that bullpen in the 8th. So again, if you can get a little insurance and build on the momentum if you're the Vols, I'm sure they'd love to do that. It's Cody Howard that came in out of the pen for Texas in the 6th. Worked a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. Stone Lawless showing bunt, but pulls back for a pitch that missed outside. Top of the order waiting on deck. See if he squares around again. He will. Throw over to first. Brown is back there in plenty of time. Chance maybe to move that key insurance run over into scoring position before the top of the order comes up.
Yeah, and this is a new look for this Tennessee offense. You would have seen this before in the past.
Well, there's a bunt in front of the plate, but the throw goes to second from Tinney. It's to the right of the bag, caught the ankle of Blaine Brown, and everybody's safe. Ruled a hit. And there's 2 on, nobody out for Tennessee.
Yeah, this is lucky that this ball hits Brown because this ball's definitely out in center field. You see Lawless gets it down right in front. Tinney, great move to get out and get it, and this ball just sails to the right of him. And like I said, luckily it hit Brown, or there may have been a lot more guys moving around the base paths.
That had to have hurt. I mean,
yeah, painful.
Tinney had some mustard on that. Tennessee looking for some insurance. Top of the order up. 2 on and nobody out for Garrett Wright. 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a walk. Corners up, expecting bunt. He squares around, but the pitch got away. Brown up to third, Lawless into second. Ducks on the pond for Tennessee.
And this is what this Tennessee offense was missing earlier in the year. They were not putting pressure on opposing teams at all. Now you're starting to see them getting hits, moving runners when they need to, and they've got arguably one of the most dynamic guys in the lineup a literal jack of all trades that could do anything up at the plate, and it's going to pull Texas in.
And well, now it's going to pull Jim Schlossnagle out of the dugout to have a chat here on the mound. Big spot for Texas. They're still within striking distance at 3-0, but a couple of runners in scoring position, nobody out. I mean, 2 more runs for Tennessee would feel massive. You mentioned that number 5 number, that would get you in that zone.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, if you're Tennessee, you're trying to eliminate the grand slam, right? 3-0. Obviously, Coons has been in control. You're going to make that move to the bullpen. Give yourself that cushion to where they can't tie it up in one swing.
Howard going to stay in the game here.
Yeah, I would say that was more of a talk to the defense of how they wanted to play this. Texas is going to pull everybody in. A ground ball throw is going to come home. If you're Garrett Wright, you've got to get something up in the zone that you can elevate, sack fly, base hit, something over this infield's head.
Corners up even
Ouch.
further, especially Livingston over at first.
I mean, that was flush to Tenney's helmet. And he didn't even flinch. That's what's amazing.
He brushed it off. He asked for a new ball like he didn't even realize his
Nothing
helmet fell off. His mask. Ball and a strike now. Fouled off. Big strike 2 for Cody Howard. Texas looking for that big first out. Howard's punched out a pair tonight. Looking for a big strike 3 here. Trying to keep those runners at 2nd and 3rd. And another foul tip from Garrett Wright.
Yeah, this is about to be a big stretch of the lineup if Howard could get out of this jam. Garrett Wright, 405 with runners in scoring position. Blake Grimmer, 286. Henry Ford, 393.
Impressive numbers. Couple of clutch hitters for Tennessee at the top of the order. Wright looking for the clutch hit. Howard trying to set him down. The 1-2. He's up into the sweets, fouled off.
Yeah, you get Garrett Wright out in this situation, you've done something. Like I said, 405 average, 500 on base. That's 15 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs in this opportunity.
Another 1-2. Got him looking. Perfectly located Cody Howard. Right on the black. Backwards K for the 3rd strikeout of the night.
Yeah, I mean, great job by Carson Tenney right here as well. He's definitely getting a couple of inches off the plate with his ability to frame pitches on that outer part.
Absolutely stuck it there, and that's a big first out.
Massive.
Dynamic changing first out. Now Blake Grimmer comes up, working on a 1-for-3 night. First pitch swinging hard, hit into right, and that's gonna score 1. Second run being waved home, throws cut off, and sliding home in time, Stone Lawless makes it 5-0 Tennessee. 2 RBI single, Blake Grimmer.
Yeah, big swing by Grimmer, was aggressive early, shoots it through the gap. And Charlie, this is what you run into when you're Texas and you got to shift that infield. You know Lawless is at second, catcher. He's not the greatest runner on the team. Robbins has a cannon. Livingston cuts it off, and we don't have that play at the plate. And Tennessee has the ability to stretch that lead to 5 now in the bottom of the 7th.
Trying to keep it going here with Henry Ford taking a massive cut at the first pitch from Howard. First runs for Tennessee since that 2 spot in the 2nd inning.
And it was going to be bang, bang if that wasn't cut. I mean, that throw was on an absolute dot.
And, you know, you think Livingston, too, he's not typically in there at first for Texas. You know, Borba's usually in there at first, but again, Ethan Mendoza got hurt earlier, came out of the game, and shifted the Texas infield around. Howard's back. 0-2 here against Ford. Throws over to first. Just keeping an eye on Blake Grimmer. Stolen just one base this season, only one attempt. Oh, 2 to Ford. Pretty good pitch to lay off there, but held up. Ball 1. Tennessee's plated 2 here in the bottom of inning number 7. Ford able to fight it foul and stay alive. Three runs off of Dylan Volantis, and now 2 more off of Cody Howard. Ground ball. Rodriguez at short to flip to second for 1. Throw to first. Not in time. Slow developing there as Ford able to beat out the double play, but there's 2 down in the 7th.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough play to turn to on slider at 78. Off the plate, Ford hits it off the end of the bat, and there's just not enough time for Rodriguez and Becerra to make that turn.
So the inning continues for Trent Grinlinger. 1 for 3 tonight with a double in the first. Throw over to first, and it got away. Livingston, though, has it close enough. Ford didn't realize it immediately and held on at first.
Yeah, and there's just not a lot of room right down that first baseline. You get a throw like that and you see these runners advance, it's got to kick away and kind of go out into left field. That looked like it hit Ford in the knee and kind of went towards first, and there's not a lot of room for that baseball to go.
And out of the plate, Grinlinger watches ball 1. Blaine Brown started the 7th with a single, then Stone Lawless made it back-to-back hits before Grimmer drove them both in. Now Grimmer on first as Grinlinger takes strike 1 called. 94 on the Cody Howard fastball. Line drive fouled off. There's strike 2.
Yeah, there's been a lot of uncomfortable swings against Howard from this Tennessee lineup. You can see it. I mean, it's that late life, low arm slot. Baseball's got that upshoot carry, that feel of ball being low, moving up towards your face.
1-2, right back to the mound. Howard, with plenty of time, gets it to first, and that'll end the inning. But Tennessee, some much needed insurance. 2 more makes it 5-0 Vols. 2 more runs in the 7th for Tennessee, a 5-0 lead for the Vols as they try to start off this pivotal SEC series with a win in Game 1. And if they're able to get this one to the finish line, Tegan Kuhns had a lot to do with it. 15 strikeouts, Cody, a career high. He was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, so good against one of the better offenses in the country. You look at that line stat. Texas was 4 for 25, 160 average against. They only had 1 base on ball, and 15 of the 21 outs came from Tegan Kuhns' strikeouts.
So the new arm in the game for Tennessee. They turn to the bullpen. It'll be Brandon Artveson tasked with getting through the 8th inning for the Vols. The junior from Dripping Springs, Texas. He's had an up and down season, a 4.31 ERA. Giving up 30 hits, but 39 strikeouts to go with 12 walks and a 1-0 record, Cody. Big inning for him.
Yep, fastball's gonna play between 91 to 93, slider 81 to 83, changeup 83 to 85. Lefties hit 304, righties hit 229 against Brandon Artveson.
Comes out of the pen and fires a first pitch strike. And we mentioned the limited series history between these 2 programs, but in that limited history, Artveson, a part of it, last year, that SEC tournament win for the Vols, he was huge in relief. Came in and gave Tennessee 4 1/3 innings, struck out 9 Longhorns. Got to wonder if maybe he's still got a little bit of that Aggie in him. Started his career at Texas A&M.
Yeah, and it really,
Jack,
yeah, exactly, 100%. Like, he's got some history there, and that really kicked off Arvidsson for the rest of the year for Tennessee. That Texas was pivotal. He came out and was the best arm out of Tennessee's pen from there on out.
Did not miss by a lot there on the 0-2 to Maddox Monsoor. It's the 9-hole for Texas, then back to the top of the order. 1-2. Fouled off.
Yeah, you look at Arvidsson over his last 3 appearances, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 3 runs given up, 294 average against during that stretch. He's given up 5 hits. 1 was a homer, 5 strikeouts to 2 base on balls.
Count goes to 2-2 here, and you know, not exactly a high leverage inning, 5-run cushion, but I think still a big enough spot energy-wise too, where if you're Tennessee, you hope you can get a good inning from Arvidsson, a team that he's pitched well against before, and you know, maybe that can be kind of a springboard for him into the back, well, not back half, but really final couple of weeks in postseason stretch.
Yeah, because you need him, right? I mean, Tennessee finds their way into this postseason. He is going to be a huge role. This is a big-time arm. A guy that's talked about being a top 3-round draft pick for Tennessee. They really need him to pitch well, and it's been the command that's been the problem for him. He's had trouble walking batters. And
located the 2-2 perfectly there, right on the black for the punch-out, and that's 16 for this Tennessee staff. Picking up where Tegan Coons left off.
Yeah, and then again, this is a great sign while we're just highlighting. Strikes have been the issue. That's 92 dotted on the black. When he gets going, he is very, very difficult when he's not getting himself in trouble.
1 down, back to the top of the order. Aiden Robbins, but on twice, or been on base twice today. Walking a double, flew out to right, back of the 6th, was part of that 1-2-3 inning where Coons got the 1-2-3 hitters. Strike 1 fired from Arvidsson. We're even 1-1. Came into the year preseason first team All-SEC, so had high expectations to be, you know, a really pivotal arm for Tennessee this year. It's strike 2 on Robbins. Here's the 1-2. Bounced it. Counts even. Crowd getting loud here again. The 1-2. And that's well hit. Right center field, moving back to the wall is right, and it's out of here. Aiden Robbins, home run number 19 on the season, and that'll break the shutout. Texas on the board. Absolutely hammered there.
Yeah, he's just very impressive. This is a hanging curveball over the plate, and without a doubt, he knew from the moment of he hit it, that ball was leaving the yard. This is a guy that leads Texas in 10 different categories, one being average, the other being home runs. That is number 19 on the season for Aiden Robbins.
Moves in now to a tie for 5th place for the most home runs in a single season at Texas. 1-0 here to Carson Tenney, finds the zone from Arvidsson.
Yeah, that pitch was 82 miles an hour, 103 off the bat of Robbins for 399 feet.
Trying to bounce back here. Strike 2. Carson Tenney 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, couple of pop-ups. 1-2, ground ball left side. It's through to Marin, long throw, and it gets past Levi Clark at first. It's going to be bang bang either way. Texas follows up the home run with a base runner.
Yeah, this is just an awkward play in general. Slider had Tenney out in front. Marin did a good job getting around the ball. Just kind of ended up being an awkward hop for Clark right there as it goes. And if you're that deep in the hole, what you're trying to do, playing on turf, make that bounce a little earlier, give your first baseman a longer hop and an opportunity to pick you up. But difficult play either way.
6 hits now for Texas. The heart of the order coming up, Anthony Pack watches a first pitch called a strike. Anthony Pack Jr. 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. A lefty-lefty matchup here.
Yeah, and last season Arvidsson was so good against lefties. This year they're hitting .304.
Well, fielding his position. Arvidsson gets off the mound in a hurry to make the play, and there's 2 down. An athlete there.
Yeah, it's a very rangy action from Arvidsson. Pack gets underneath it. Great jump off the mound. Great play, Brandon Arvidsson.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes? 2 down, runner on a first. And Arvidsson an out away from pushing this one to the bottom of the 8th. Josh Livingston get his 3rd at-bat of the day, a bunt single. That's paired with a strikeout. So he's 1 for 2.
And if you're Texas, you'd love to get another couple guys on, give Robbins another opportunity for you and come up in the next inning, but they need to get a couple of guys here to give him that chance.
Slowed it down on the 0-1 and froze him. Strike 2. Former Wichita State star trying to keep the inning alive for the Longhorns. They're cheering on Arvidsson here in Knoxville. The 0-2. Just missed. Oh. Lawless tried to stick it right there. He can't believe it. Make that a gif. Ball and 2 strikes. Grounded foul. We'll do it again. Arvidsson got Maddox Mansour to strike out looking to start the 8th, but then Aiden Robbins homered. Carson Tenney got the infield single. Looking for the last out here against Livingston. 1-2. Fouled off again. That's in on the hands. Livingston able to stay alive. He's battling. There's an early portal commit for Texas. Spent 2 years at Crowder, then 2 at Wichita State. And a big spot here. 1-2, got him swinging. Lawless will have to throw down to first, but a strikeout and a 2-3 putout ends the inning. Tennessee, 17 strikeouts as a team. They hold on to a 4-run lead.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Well, Tennessee, they're trying to play their way into the postseason. Came in sort of on the bubble, entering the weekend 11-13 in the SEC, an RPI of 36. Texas certainly presented an opportunity, perhaps taking advantage of that tonight. And, well, a win in game 1, you're feeling a lot better about your chances to keep playing beyond the SEC tournament, Cody.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it just comes down to as simple as this. You win, you're in. You've got Texas and Oklahoma at the end of the year, 2 top 25 teams. You pick up a couple of wins against those 2 teams and solidifies your resume, and you got nothing to worry about.
Maurice Chapman, he grounds out to second on the first pitch of the bottom of the 8th inning. So Cody Howard back out for another inning of work. Maybe saving that Texas bullpen a little bit for the rest of the weekend. And 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, and you look at this layout by D1 Baseball. Currently, they have Tennessee in. They have them traveling to Atlanta, Georgia to face number 2 overall seed Georgia Tech, along with Jacksonville State and Fairleigh Dickinson. They have Tennessee as the 3 seed in that. Texas, right now, currently a Super 8 host at the number 4 overall seed. They would host number 2 Miami, number 3 Western Carolina, and number 4 Tarleton State.
Yeah, Texas, Georgia in that SEC title race, kind of just as interesting in that national seed race. I mean, it feels like you've got UCLA and UNC kind of solidified as that top 2. And, you know, Georgia Tech has been favored over Texas for the most part here in evaluations these last couple of weeks. Yep. But it's a Longhorns team that should be in really good position when they get to the postseason. And, you know, hoping to go a little bit further than last year when they got bounced by UTSA in their ballpark.
Yeah, and they would match up, if this ended up holding, they would match up against number 13 overalls Florida State, and then Tennessee would match up against number 15 overall seed Oregon State if they came out of that regional as well.
0-2 popped up by Levi Clark. Since 2017, number 36, that's been the highest RPI rank from an SEC team to make the NCAA tournament. There have been 3 teams with an RPI from the SEC exactly at 36, but that's where Tennessee sits now. Of course, a win tonight would help that number climb. And this is absolutely belted left center field, but it hangs up enough for Anthony Pack Jr. to make the catch on the warning track. A chuckle there from Cody Howard. He heard the crowd's reaction and the sound of the bat. Might have thought it was leaving, but Lindsey Nelson big enough to hold it. Two down. Here comes Manny Marin.
And if you look at it, if you look at it by conference, the SEC projected 12 teams in, ACC 9, Big 12 7, Big 10 5, Conference USA 3, the American and the Sun Belt, both with 2.
Marin looked a little silly on that swing for strike 2, and you say 12 SEC teams, that's kind of the other part of the equation for Tennessee. I mean, number 4 Texas in your ballpark this weekend, a good Oklahoma team next weekend, an SEC tournament. Like, yeah, Tennessee's on the bubble, but they've also got the chance to play themselves into much higher position. A swinging strikeout there for Manny Marin. Tennessee goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. Tennessee leading number 4 Texas here in Lindsey Nelson Stadium, 5-1, a 4-run lead for the Vols as they try to pick up a massive opening victory in this second to last SEC series of the season. So far, so good, but needing 3 more outs. And you look, Texas, 12 come from behind wins this season. Tennessee, of course, 24-2 after 8 innings. Brandon Arvidsson will try to get him through the 9th here. First pitch strike to Adrian Rodriguez. Did give up the 1 home run last inning to Aiden Robbins, but how impressed have you been tonight? Just Tennessee's pitching staff's ability to keep this this Texas lineup off balance.
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. 1 walk, 17 strikeouts for this Tennessee pitching staff. Texas has only had a runner in scoring position twice throughout the game. I mean, masterclass by Tegan Coons, and he set the tone for everything that's happened behind it so far.
Josh Reynolds' staff has been excellent tonight. Still needing 3 more outs, and that home run last inning did get Texas back within that grand slam range. They can score in a hurry. They scored 10 unanswered, and a comeback win against Mississippi State last weekend, though. They had a lot more time to work with when they did that.
I mean, anything's possible, though, right? String together a few hits and give Robbins an opportunity at the top of the order again.
2-2 to Rodriguez, and Arvidsson got him. Another strikeout for this Tennessee staff. That's 18.
Yeah, and this is Arvidsson's bread and butter. It's an 80-mile-an-hour slider, one of the best off-speed pitches in the SEC. Gets another punch out, number 18 on the night.
Coons had 15. Arvidsson's added 3 more. One down here in the 9th. Temo Becerra singled his last at-bat. 1 for 3 on the night. First pitch missed just down and inside. Ball 1. Back over the plate. 1-1. Been one of the better all-around performances from Tennessee we've seen this season in terms of hitting and pitching, of course. Defense has been excellent. That's been the case for most of the year. They've, scored in different ways too. Done a good job manufacturing runs at times. Impressive stuff from Tennessee. And they still got a pretty high ceiling just in terms of the level of talent on that team. 2-1. Looked at for strike 2.
Yeah, and if this is a team that finds its way into a regional, the host is not going to be happy to see them there. They have the quality starting pitching, and when the bat's coming alive, they could be very dangerous at the right time of the year.
Here's the 2-2. That's foul and out of play. A ricochet shot there in the crowd. Arvidsson came in the 8th inning after Tegan Coons pitched the first 7. 7 scoreless from Coons. Here's the 2-2. Hard ground ball. Marin lays out, but it's past the diving glove into left. And Texas has a 1-out single. Second hit of the night for Temo Becerra.
Yeah, he's had a couple good swings on the night. Just does a great job staying short for the second time again. Pitch was a slider by Arvidsson up and away. He shoots it right there through the 6th hole.
Bring Ashton Larson to the dish. He got a hit back in the 7th, a single. 1 for 3 tonight. First pitch called strike 1. Larson was a post-draft kind of later portal addition for this Texas team. They thought they'd landed Butler transfer Jack Moronic, but he ended up signing with the Nationals after being drafted in the 11th, so they dipped back into the portal. It's that relationship with assistant Nolan Kane that recruited him at LSU that helped him end up at Texas as a late entry. Popped up here on the 0-2. Ford gives it a look, but it goes well foul. Runner on first. Larson the 7th hole. Casey Borba waits on deck. Again the 0-2. Off the plate. Easy take there for Ashton Larson. Back to the plate, runner takes off for second. Swing and a miss. And there's strike 3. 19 Ks for this Tennessee pitching staff. They let Becerra take second base there.
Yeah, they weren't even holding him on. They liked the lefty-on-lefty matchup again. Arvidsson slider, really difficult pitch to stay on top of. Picks up another punch out, and you see the highlight. That is a season high, 19 strikeouts. Tennessee is 1 out away from picking up victory in game 1.
First pitch swinging, Borba floats it into left, running Glab. Blaine Brown makes the catch. Tennessee wins it. 5-1 the final for the Vols. Impressive stuff tonight, Cody. Tennessee jumped out to an early lead. They came out swinging against Texas ace Dylan Volantis, and then Tegan Coons on the other side was masterful tonight. Gave him some run support, didn't need a lot of it.
Yeah, you look at it overall, Tennessee hit all the checklists. You jumped on Volantis early. Your Tegan Coons, your ace, was incredible. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 15 strikeouts. He set the tone for Tennessee, and that's why they pick up a 5-1 victory.
Well, an electric night here in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. The weather was perfect, and Tennessee knocks off number 4 Texas in the series opener. A pivotal win for the Vols. Set the tone for what should be a fun rest of the weekend. Final score, Tennessee 5, Texas 1.